Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing great. And in today's video, we are going to discuss lesson 5.5, which is all about the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, here, the first page, as you see over here, they have familiar or similar, sorry, similar questions. And I hope actually that you are familiar with these questions. So here, one of the questions you're going to find that they have the hypotenuse missing, and we agree that the hypotenuse, which is also referred to as C, in this question they are referring to it as A, but in our rule that we learned for the Pythagoras theorem, we said that C squared equals A squared plus B squared, where C is the hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse is the longest side. It is actually the one that is opposite to the right angle, like this one here, like this one here. In this rule, C is the hypotenuse. They might refer to it in the question as B, they might refer to it in the question as A, they might refer to it in the question as C. I don't care. The hypotenuse squared equals the sum of the other two angles. Each of them is squared as well. So let's try to find here, for example, the first angle here, the first side. So here we're saying that they want to find the hypotenuse. So what am I supposed to do, mister? You are supposed to follow this rule. No matter what they're calling it A. Is it the hypotenuse or not? Yes, it is the hypotenuse. Good, thank you. So I'm gonna say C squared equals A squared, which is one of the other two sides. Remove this A, not to get confused. At the end, I will write A equals for this side. But we know that this is the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is C squared, is C. So C squared equals A squared, which is 36, 6 squared, 36, plus 8 squared, which is 64. So C squared equals 90 plus 10. It is exactly going to give you 100. So 36 plus 64 is 100. A C is what? C equals the square root of 100. This square, to get rid of it, you send it there with the square root. So C equals 10 exactly. So, mister, but they said it's called A. Okay, okay, make them happy and say A equals 10. But don't let it confuse you in the beginning with this rule. This A that they want is the hypotenuse. It's not the A that is given to you here. Okay, good. Question B, this question, the same technique exactly. This question, the same technique exactly. All right. Question two here. So you can just do it and check the answer key that is given to you, that was sent to you at the beginning of the year. Question two here says to you, uh, let's have a question that has also finding the, what's it called, the hypotenuse as well. Look at this question here. Opposite to the right angle? No problem. That's the hypotenuse. I know it. Even if they call it B, I don't care. It is C in my equation. So C squared equals A squared plus B squared. And hide this B, not to get confused. Okay? So C squared equals, that's the hypotenuse. 12 squared plus 8 squared. So C squared equals 104 plus 64. So C squared equals what? 208. So what is C? Oh, mister, how can I calculate 208? Well, if this comes to you, it will come definitely in paper two. Paper two, then you are allowed to use the lovely calculator. So let's use the calculator. It says to you here, square root of 208 equals SD. Uh-oh, mister, that's a big number. Shall I write all of it? Well, read the question. They said to you round it to one decimal place. So this is, mister, going to be exactly 14.4 rounded to one decimal place. C is 14.4 centimeters. Mister, they called it B. No problem. Make them happy. B equals 14.4 centimeters. Make them happy and write B because they said that it is B. Look, here the eraser. Let me erase. They said that it's called B. Yes, make them happy and write at the end B equals 14.4, but don't let it confuse you. This B that they want is not the B that you have in your formula. Here, it's not this one. Okay, let's continue. What you missed, now we learned how to find the missing hypotenuse. What if one of the two legs is missing, not the hypotenuse? Here is the hypotenuse, it's given to me. And they're telling me one of the other two sides. Okay, no problem. We learned that a squared equals c squared minus b squared. Okay, so a squared equals 15 squared is C is always the hypotenuse. A and B can alternatively be one of the other two sides. You can call this A, you can call this A, you can call this B, whatever you're going to call them. Here they called it A here. Fine. So A squared equal c squared to the hypotenuse, which is 15 squared, minus b squared to the other side, which is 9 squared. So a squared equals, you're going to find that 15 times 15 is 225 minus 81. You're going to find that a squared equals 144. So a is what? The square root of 144, which is 12. So the side that they want to find is actually 12. This one, the same thing exactly, mister. But we're dealing with decimals. So do it here, 8.5 squared minus 4 squared. We get the square root of them. We'll give you B. Same thing here. 50 squared minus 48 squared. And the answer, get the square root of it. We'll give you C. Check your answers from the answer key. This question, the same technique exactly. This is the hypotenuse. This is the hypotenuse. This is the hypotenuse, opposite to the right angle. Same rule exactly. A squared equals c squared minus b squared. The hypotenuse is here, is here, is here. Square it minus square from exactly the same way like how we did this. Do it and check the answer from the answer key. Next question. Question 5. It says to you here, the sides of a rectangle are 5.5 centimeters and 8.5 centimeters as shown in the diagram. Here you go. They want you to calculate the length of that diagonal. Where are you going, mister? Go up. Calculate the length of the diagonal. The diagonal. They want to calculate this. How can I find it, mister? And what does this have to do with Pythagoras theorem? Oh, yeah, it has to do a lot, actually. It has a lot to do with the Pythagoras theorem. I know that this is a triangle. Look at this. And it is a right-angled triangle. Here you go. Right? A right-angled triangle. And I know that this is 5.5 centimeters. And they wanted the length of the diagonal. Okay, the diagonal here is the hypotenuse, C. So C squared equals A squared plus B squared. C squared, we don't know it, equals 5.5 squared plus 8.5 squared. So C squared equals, find 5.5 squared and 8.5 squared. Let's do it. 5.5 squared is 30.25 and 85 squared is 80. 8.5 squared, 72.25. So C squared equals exactly 102.5. Find C. So the square root of 102.5 equals 10 point, a lot of numbers. They said round your answer to, did they say? Calculate the length of the diagonal. They didn't say make an accurate drawing to check it out. Well, they didn't say, so just round it to one decimal place. You're gonna find that your answer is, oops, what did I say? What did I do? 10.1. You round it, 10.1 centimeters. The diagonal is 10.1 centimeters. They want you to draw an accurate or sketch an accurate drawing of the rectangle to make sure that you're right. Mister, how can I do that? Just to draw a rectangle on a piece of paper using a ruler. The length of the rectangle is 8.5 centimeters and the width is 5.5 centimeters. Draw it accurately with with a ruler and connect the shape, the sides over here, and check the diagonal. Draw the diagonal. Connect it, all of this with a ruler. Measure it with the ruler. You're gonna find that it is around the 10.1 or 10.2 maximum because it's rounded. 10.1 or 10.2 maximum, you're going to find it if you draw it really accurately. So they just want you to sketch it and test. Is really the diagonal with your ruler away from the Pythagoras theorem? Is the diagonal really 10.1 or not? You're going to find that it is 10.1. Question 6. Calculate the length of the diagonal of a square when the length of each side is 3 centimeters. Mister, a square? Okay, no problem. That's very easy because I know that the square is what? All the sides are equal. So if I draw a square over here, let's assume that this is a square, and I say this to you that this is a 3 centimeter side, and this is also 3. What is the length of the diagonal? Well, Mister, I know that this is right angle, so this is the hypotenuse, c squared. So c squared equals 3 squared, which is 9, plus 3 squared also, which is 9. So c squared equals 18. The diagonal is square root of 18. And leave it this way here. Square root of 18 because it's a third. So it is square root of 18. Let's go to the other one. The thing to you here, it is the side is 5. 5. So Mr. C squared equals 5 squared, 25, plus 5 squared again, 25, a squared plus b squared. So c squared equals 50, and c is square root of 50. So this is square root of 50. What if it is 8, mister? So c squared equals a squared, which is 8 squared, plus b squared, which is also 8. 8 squared. So c squared equals 64 plus 64 is going to give you exactly 128. Get the root of it. So c equals root of 128. All right. So now, there is a question over there, IV, just to do it, خلاص, it's the same thing exactly. Just remove the A and right, it is whatever that number that is missing over there that I cannot see, and plus itself also squared. Test the conjecture that the diagonal of a square is always root of 2 times the length of the side. They're telling you test that the conjecture means like the rule, or just a rule that is applied over there. Test if it is true or false. The diagonal of a square is always square root of 2 times the length of side. Yani if you multiply the square root of 2 by, for example, 3, will give you the length of the diagonal, which is square root of 18. Is this right? Yes. Don't say no. Don't say, Mister, square root of 2 times 3 is square root of 6. No, you cannot multiply a third by an integer. Make this a root as well. So square root of 2 times what if 3 is square root of what? Square root of 9. Good. So it will give you now square root of 18. Yes, it worked. So the other one over here, 5 centimeters. They saying it to you, if you multiply square root of 2 by 5, will it give you square root of 50? Let's try. Square root of 2 times 5 is square root of what? Square root of 25, which is square root of 50. Well, it worked. But can I try another one? No problem, try another one. If I say 8, so square root of 2 multiplied by 8. Will it give me 128? Let's try it. It is the same as square root of 2 times square root of 64, which is square root of 2 times 64 is 128. Yes, it worked. So, yes, yeah, mister, to find the length of the diagonal of any square, it is the length of the side, which is the kind of like 5, for example, multiplied by square root of 2. Yes, it always works. We tested this. All right, now it's going to take me some time in order to erase this. I'm going to pause the video until I erase it. Now with question 7, the saying to the diagram shows the side view of a building. Here you go. Calculate the length of AB. AB, they want this one. They want this, AB. Okay, mister, I have a triangle over here. You see it? Here you go. And it's not any kind of triangle. It's a right-angled triangle. So the side that they want is actually the hypotenuse. This is C. It's opposite to the right angle. And I know the length of the other two sides. I know the length of this and I know the length of this. Oh, mister, I don't know the length of this. Come on. This is 3.6, so this is 3.6. Good. Now I can find the hypotenuse. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. C squared equals, mister, which is A, which is B? I don't care. It doesn't matter. 0.9 squared plus 3.6 squared. So C squared equals, do the calculations. You're going to find that this is 0.81. And you're going to find that this is, what is this? 3.6 squared. 12.96. 12.96. So C squared equals, you're going to find exactly that it is 13.77. So C equals square root of 13.77. You can calculate it and round your answer to one decimal place like the rest of the sides. So the root of 13.77 equals 3.7. Rounded to one decimal place is 3.7. All right. Question 8, they're saying to you that here is this, the length, the side, this side is 6.1 meters, and the length is 13.4. Calculate the distance from one corner to the opposite. So they want the hypotenuse. From one corner to the opposite corner. So they want C. The same technique exactly, Mr. 6 squared equals A squared plus B squared. But instead of this, I'm going to remove 0.9. Everything exactly the same. All right, so I'm going to write here 13.4 squared plus 6.1 squared. You do the same thing exactly, do your calculations. You're going to find an answer over here, and then you get the other and the calculations, you add them up, and then you get the root of your answer. Check your steps from, check your final answer with the answer key. Just find C. Question 9. ABC is an equilateral triangle. ABC, are they giving us? Yes. ABC is an equilateral triangle. Each side is 20 centimeters. Work out the height of AD, the area of the triangle, the length of PR. So let's do this. They're saying it to you, each side is 20. So this is 20, 20. This is 20, but actually also 10 and 10, which is 20, all of it. But it's divided into two parts, two halves. The height of AD, they want from you the height of this, which is AD. What's the length of this? Mister, I noticed this right angle, the triangle over here, and I have the hypotenuse is 20. I want one of the two legs, one of the other sides, so it is A squared. equals c squared minus b squared. I have the hypotenuse. I want to find one of the others. So a squared equals 20 squared minus 10 squared. A squared equals 400 minus 100. So a squared equals root of equals a 300. This is still we're not done with the root, equals just a 300. So a equals root of 300. This is AD. Length of AD is root of 300. If you round your answer, you can round it to one decimal place. Let's do it. Root of 300 equals 17.3. 17.3. This is question 9. If you go over there, 17.3 here, as you see in question 9a. All right. 9b is saying it to you. Find the what? The area of the triangle. Oh, Mister, what is the area of the triangle? You took it in year 6, and you took it in year 7, and you took it in book 8, and now also in book 9. You must use it. You must learn it. Area equals half BH, or BH over 2. Base, which is what? The 20. All of it. They wanted the whole triangle. So it is 20 times the height. We found that the height is what? I can't remember. I erased it down. 17.3. 17.3 over 2. So A equals, multiply 20 by 17.3 over 2 will get you that area of the triangle. So let's do it. Let's get a fraction. 20 by 17.3 over 2 equals 173. All right, centimeters squared. This is the area. Okay, what else do they want to find? Nothing. Question 10. Work out the length of PR. They want PR. Mister, I have a right angle over here. Yes, you got a right angle. And this is the hypotenuse. But they wanted the other side, which is this one. How can I find it, mister? Follow the root of the Pythagoras. I have the hypotenuse. So what am I supposed to do? C squared? No, not c squared. I have the hypotenuse. So a squared equals c squared minus b squared. The same. You see, now everything is being repeated. So a squared is a squared, we need to find it, equals c squared, 13 squared, minus b squared is 25, or let's write it step by step. So 5 squared. So a squared equals 169 minus 25. A squared equals 144. So a equals the square root of 144, which is what? Which is 12. So PR is 12 centimeters. Use your answer to part A to work out the length of PS. Okay, mister, I found that this is 12, right? This is 12. Can I find PS, which is this one? Yes, you can. I have the two legs, 9 centimeters and 12 centimeters. This is a right angle. They want the hypotenuse. So c squared equals a squared plus b squared. C squared, I don't know it, I need to find it, equals a squared is 12 squared, which is 144, plus 9 squared, which is 81. So c squared equals 100, it's going to be 220, it's going to be 225. Yes, 225. So what is C? You're going to find that C equals root of 225. This is a common number that all of us should know. Root of 225 is 15. So it is 15 centimeters. Okay? Now with question 11. Let me erase this. Question 11 says to you, in an A4 sheet of paper is 21 centimeters wide and 29.7 centimeters long. They are saying it to you, find the length of the longest straight line you can draw on the paper. The longest? Oh, they must mean here the hypotenuse. They're telling you an A4 paper. Here is an A4 paper. They're telling you the length of it is 29.7 centimeters. The width is 21.0. They want the longest straight line that you can draw on the paper. The longest is the hypotenuse, semester. So they wanted this one. C. Follow the same rule. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. C squared equals 29.7 squared plus 21.0 squared. C squared equals. Do the calculations and find the final answer. You're going to find at the end root of, I'm going to do 29.7 squared plus 21 squared equals 36.3. 36.3. So C actually is 36.3. 4, sorry, it's one decimal place, so 0.4 centimeters. I just did all of this in one step. I squared on the calculator, and I squared the other on the calculator, and I got the root of all of them to get C at the end, and I found that C is 36.37, which means 36.4. Now I found the length of the longest side, which is the hypotenuse. This is a parallelogram. Work out the height of the parallelogram. Here is the height. The height is here. So let's do it. Mister, I have this triangle. You see it? And it is a right-angled triangle. The hypotenuse is given. How can I find the height? Well, the hypotenuse is given, so A squared equals C squared minus B squared. A squared equals C squared, 25 times 25. Minus B squared is 7 times 7, which is 7 squared. A squared equals, let's do this on the calculator. 25 squared minus 49 squared, minus 7 squared. Minus 49 equals 576. 576. Get the root of 576 equals, let's do this, root of 576, 24 exactly. So A is what? I'm sorry, I don't have space to write it, so I'm going to write it maybe over here. A is 24 centimeters. So I found that the height is 24 centimeters. The area of the parallelogram. Oh, so what is the area of a parallelogram? A equals BH, base times height. Parallelogram, base times height. The base is what? The base is 23 and 7 is 30 times the height. We've just found it. It's 24. So 30 times 24, A equals 3 times 24 is 72, and there is a 0, so it's 720 centimeters squared. This is the area of the parallelogram. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you in another video.